It's literally my life right now. It's 5:30 in the morning. And yeah, welcome to my video. And why somebody would do this to themselves, let's find out. For 1 week, we will live like a monk. And yeah, I'm mentally still not on this planet. It's too early, guys. I can just sleepwalk. I can get ready while I'm sleep standing. Oh my gosh. Why are all the birds joining me? For an entire week, I was not allowed to talk to anybody. I had no phone, nothing. Just me and my thoughts. And oh my gosh, I really had no clue what I was getting myself into. So let's find out what happens when you stop running away from yourself. I'm the kind of person who is kind of always on the go. I'm always working on a bazillion projects at once. My friends call me a social butterfly. If I'm next to you on a train, I will probably just start randomly talking to you. So the idea to live like a monk for a week with no distractions, not being able to talk to one person, totally terrified me. But that's the reason why I did it. Let's face it, we're consistently glued to our phones, consistently scrolling, waiting for the next notification, the next hit of dopamine. It just feels so good, right? But somehow we're just still so incredibly unfulfilled. I wanted to break free from the chaos, see what happens when you strip your life down to the basics, to the necessities. No phone, no talking, pure silence, no distractions, just me and myself. This is just not about me. I always wondered what makes somebody give up everything and live like a monk. What can we learn from their lifestyle to live a more peaceful life? So I packed up everything and got my stuff together and just went up to some monks and asked them, teach me something. Can I endure the silence? To not talk to somebody for an entire week? No phone, no distractions, nothing at all. Let's find out. Let's start with my morning routine. Every morning I would wake up at 5:30 in the morning, and believe me, it was really not easy and it was not getting better by day. From 7 to 7:30 a.m. we would sweep and clean the temple floors, for example, when leaves would have fallen down on the floor. We would just make sure to maintain the whole area, especially also for the visitors who are coming. And then from 7:30 until 9 a.m. we would have breakfast, which mostly included some form of vegetables, rice, fruits, and it was really simple. We would sit in the same hall where we would have meditated on really small tables on the ground, on little mats. And we would have those little pages next to us, and it was written down sentences which would remind us to stay mindful, not to overeat. Just in simplicity said, eating mindfully and slowly. After breakfast, from 9:30 until 11 a.m., we would have another meditation session. We would just sit with our thoughts and being mindful, concentrating on our breath. While on some days my thoughts seemed to be screaming so loud I could barely concentrate. But after a while, when I thought through all my thoughts, I could finally sit down and just sit there in peace and start noticing how the birds would sing in the background. And especially when you have a bunch of people who are doing the same thing, it just helps you to stay more focused. Then from 11 to 12, we would have lunch, which would be our last meal because we wouldn't have anything for dinner. From 2 to 3 p.m., we had another meditation session. Then 1 hour of break, and from 4 to 5 p.m., we swept the floors of the temples again. 6 to 7 p.m., we had our last meditation session. A monk would also say some chantings. And yeah, at 9 p.m. we were supposed to go to bed, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm not always going to bed at 9 p.m. The only important thing is waking up at 5:30 p.m. a.m. How I do it? Just do it. Sleep is a social construct, remember? What terrified me the most was the realization how we make ourselves so extremely busy all the time, doing something. Even when we're eating, we're watching a little video. When we're going on a run, when we work out, we hear music. We're making our lives so full and so busy that we don't even get 1 second and 1 chance to listen to our own inner voice. Honestly, sitting just in pure silence kind of terrified me, but I'm glad I did it. All my worries and insecurities came up, and I couldn't run away from it. I needed to face it, because I had nothing which would just distract me. It was just me and my thoughts. It's amazing to see how I don't need consistent noise and overstimulation all the time to entertain myself. It definitely showed me this experience, how silence doesn't have to be empty all the time. And there can be a lot of answers when you sometimes, from time to time, just take a step back in life to just really think about what are your goals, what do you really want in life, and just see things kind of from an outside perspective. And honestly, not being able to be online at all for a full week, it didn't feel like I was falling behind, missing out on something. It just made me realize that everything in life has a price. And if you're not where you want to be, honestly, you're just not willing to pay the price when you're really unhappy and unfulfilled with your life, you know? Because when you want to achieve your goals, you have to pay the price of discipline. And when you're in a place of depression or you just hate everything, you're so jealous of the other people, it's also, you're paying the price for it with your lifestyle, with your thoughts and your consistent actions. And yeah, it kind of showed me that. And I'm not willing to be a monk in the future. Oh, somebody just told me Merry Christmas. It's Christmas today. Yeah, we got interrupted, but my train of thought was basically, even if I'm not going to be a monk in the future, there are definitely a lot of parts which I will try to establish in my own life and try to integrate. For example, waking up and being more mindful and just keeping things a little bit more simple. Morning. Morning. So this week was a true challenge. It showed me what's really important in life. And if I'm inspiring you, I'm challenging you to take 5 minutes every day for a week or even 10 to meditate. There's a bunch of guided meditations and really amazing apps like Headspace. Yeah. My takeaway is, if you're not where you want to be, you're just not willing to pay the price. Bye.